Good everyone, my name is Coolpilot, and welcome to the 7th anniversary of Coolpilot Productions. God, it does not feel like it's been 7 years. Obviously, it's also crazy just to think, just the other day, when I went onto the channel page, the video page, after the direct video was up, being able to see, the new direct video in the top left corner, and all the way at the very bottom right, the last video I could see after, scrolling to, get as many videos into frame as I could, was the 2nd anniversary video. And there has been another anniversary video since. Granted, I intended to make one during one of the years where, I think it was during like the Merrillcraft time frame, where I was actually making videos around the anniversary and intended to do an anniversary video then, but just didn't have the time to finish it, unfortunately, or to record it, which, granted, has been one of the main problems, alongside having to deal with family at the same time. Those two things combined just didn't work out. But yeah, it's insane to think it's been that long and honestly got so little done in that time frame. I mean, to say that, I've gotten, when it comes to like the main aspect of Coolpilot Productions, the comics, I've gotten a lot done in my head. It's progressed so much, and I now have like tons of stories, and I actually have like set comics I know I'm going to do in what order, that I know beginning, middle, ends. Some of them still need to be, fully fleshed out, with a lot of details. Basically the second and third comics I'm going to be working on, have that issue, but that's just because they're a lot earlier into development than the first comic in Silver Hair, which have fully fleshed out and have a full outline for it and everything. Basically just waiting for me to script and draw. But the hard work, getting the scripting done, learning how to draw so I can draw the comic, along with your hard work of getting this YouTube channel, and doing videos for this YouTube channel, going. That's the kind of things I haven't been able to do for a variety of reasons. I'm going to go full in depth into the stuff that's been going on. That's for the CPP update video to go into, which I intended to do before this video, so I wouldn't have this sort of issue of wanting to talk about that, but also not wanting to talk about that because I don't want to make this video too long. On top of the fact that I am also on a time crunch to get this video out, because I'm recording this on the 31st. We recorded the first version last night on the 30th, but it's a bit too long, a bit too rambly, didn't like how it turned out, so I'm re-recording it now before I have lunch, so that way I don't have as many phlegm problems as I had doing it last night after dinner, too. Have to take extreme measures. This pumped out. But yeah, I'm on a time crunch because of how long it took to do the direct video to get this recorded and out on the 1st. Then I can do the CPP update video, which, granted, won't be that hard to do. Just me talking in front of just the CPP logo. Well, the old one, at least. Granted, the CPP logo is still going to be basically the same, but it's just going to be modified a bit, and updated. But I don't want to have to deal with the editing and rendering time of that when I have to get this out by tomorrow. Or today, for you. So, yeah, I'll go into full depth of why I've been gone, what's been going on, and the full situation around me getting everything started back up, as well as what to expect and everything in the update video, because that's what that's for. But I do at least want to touch on it just a little bit more here. Obviously, I've been gone for quite a while, in terms of the YouTube channel. 3 years, I think, or so, 3-4 years. And yeah, I'm suddenly coming back. What changed? I have the time to do it now. That's what changed, because I don't have a job. Not because of the current situation in the world, by the way. It's because we moved back in January, and that made it so I had to quit my job. I've been working on other stuff kind of up till now. Settling in. I had to settle in a new house end of January, beginning of February. February and early March was mostly trying to get back into this swing of working on my comic stuff, because obviously that's technically more important than this. This YouTube channel is always going to be, a side aspect to Coolpilot Productions. Let's plays are a hobby. The only, parts of this channel that's going to be, centrally stupid, bloody pop filter that's normally attached to my mic stand. I'm having to put in between my legs because my weird audio setup is tumbling over, because of course it does. I needed to get a new pop filter that actually just fits onto the mic, or just, a little cover for the mic itself, rather than using this dumb thing. So it's been annoying. It's annoying me more now. As I was saying, the only part of this channel that will ever be, centrally, critically important to Coolpilot Productions is, the comic-related stuff. So some of the music I make for it, comic commentaries, that sort of thing. Because the comics are the center of Coolpilot Productions. But this is still an important part to me, particularly in terms of, being a hobby of mine. And I enjoy doing it. Editing, I enjoy a little bit less, but I enjoy recording and enjoy having it uploaded. Editing's more of the chore part of things. But there's always got to be work involved. So, in everything, including my comics, it has a lot of work I have to do with that, too, to get those out. So, yeah, it's been a long time, I know. But I do, and I've had problems before of starting out and then it petering out. But I do intend to do this serious now. This anniversary, I want to be kind of the anniversary that turn things around. Not really flipping over a new leaf so much as just being just a turning point of going from not doing as much of like the hard work, only like the comics, just working on them in my head and everything and sorting them out there, to actually getting stuff done, to actually getting stuff out. Comics will take a lot longer for it to actually come out, because I have to finish learning to draw and then do a ton of concept work to make sure I know what everything's going to look like, and then draw the entire prologue in chapter 1 of Silver Hair before, plus a couple months worth of buffer before it can even be released, because I intend to do the prologue in chapter 1 released all at once, so that we have the full proper introduction to the story right at the start, because I hate having a couple pages of the story up and someone comes along to say, oh, this, maybe they're interested in the art, or they see the concept they're interested in, but they only see like a couple pages and you don't have enough to really draw them in, so they end up forgetting about it and just abandoning it immediately. I don't want that to happen for future fans. I want them to have a good meaty start right at the very start, so that way they could figure out, is this comic for me or not? And if it is, then you have whatever my update schedule is, for them to keep reading thereafter. So yeah, that's very long ways away. My main goal with it right now is to get to the point where I can draw the comic. That's my current goal there, as well as scripting the comic on the written side of things. But this videos I can actually record and get out. That I can actually give to you guys, especially because the music is also something that's going to take a very long time, and that's secondary even to the videos for now. So doing this is a way for me to help also get me into the routine of making and producing and releasing stuff. So I intend to stick with this from here on out. Granted, full series won't be starting for a few weeks. After the CPP update video, I tend to take a week or two break to work on the art a little bit more, to get back into drawing stuff and learning, and then editing the Pokemon Sword videos I recorded back in November, and then recording new ones thereafter. That also gives me time to figure out the mic situation, because right now I have it sitting in front of me, which granted this would work for Pokemon too, but I do need at least a better filter for it. But I need to figure out something for any PC games I might want to do, like, say, Civilization 6. Granted, I wouldn't be doing that right at the start, because the only two series I tend to do to start is Pokemon Sword and finishing up the Platinum one, but still. I want this anniversary to be the turning point. So for this anniversary, given I'm a little bit limited in what I can actually do for videos, I want to have something I can actually physically show, given it's been so long since I've been doing regular videos. I want something for you to actually look at. So comic talk is off the table, life talk is off the table. About the only major thing that I have is a Minecraft world, one of my own Minecraft worlds, like I did for the second anniversary way back when I showed off the Hangar world. Because the comics, I just don't have enough to physically show you guys, unfortunately. Even if I'm talking about the Aberdeen, I just don't have enough to physically show. I have more than Silver Hair, but still not enough to really make a proper video out of. So save that for later. It also makes sense to save for later once I actually get the comic stuff going too. So, so then the question was, well, what Minecraft world? A lot of my old worlds are fairly small, so I would have to kind of group them together to show them a couple at a time for a single anniversary video. There's only a couple that are big enough for a video on their own, and I wanted to do one of those. And off the top of my head, the other ones that are keeping over that, because even Sea Light is too small. That's a major important world to me, and that's too small. There's really just two, since Hangar was already done. One is my original Alpha world, or InfDev world, technically, because that was actually before Alpha. That I would have to dig to find. I'm not sure where that is. So that wasn't really an option. Number two was the one I actually decided on anyways, regardless of the first one having to dig to find. And thankfully, I did find it's not the last version of the map, but it's close enough to the last version that at least the last thing I really built in it is partially there. Enough to talk about it. And it is also just so happens to be a world that was in and of itself a turning point for me. This world was, first off, it's a bit of a turning point in Minecraft history. It's not something you're probably going to be aware of unless you're around with the Minecraft community, the Minecraft forum community, back in the early days of Alpha and Beta here. And even then, you'd have to have good memory, and B, have noticed and found the project at the time I was working on it. But it was the first ever Minecraft mega project. Because while I didn't at the time know that mega project was a real world term for anything, I was the one that first, to my knowledge at least, and as far as I could tell from anyone, it was the first to use it in terms of describing a Minecraft project. Because at the time we had moved from InDev and InfDev and Alpha, and then on to Beta. I'm pretty sure I started this map in Alpha, if I remember correctly. And as when we moved on to Infinite Worlds, and people got more used to it, and people kept started doing bigger and bigger builds, we started having full cities, and people even trying to build nations. So at the time, things were generally termed, you had builds, which are generally smaller things, and then projects, which were larger builds. In the days of InDev, it would have been, big fancy buildings taking up a whole in-dev map. In, what's starting in dev and alpha with, infinite worlds, project tended to be used for, even larger projects. But I felt that, the term project was a bit of a understatement for things like, massive nations, even a little bit to cities. I think originally I was thinking like, well, calling a city a project is, okay. You could also, when I go into the term, I'm saying, yeah, you could also use it for mega projects, but mega project was meant to, really be a designator for massive projects like full nations, or in my case, a full continent. But not only did it coin, a term for Minecraft, which is still used. The project, mega project designations aren't used as much these days. Most people just refer to things as builds. Terminologies change over time. It was also a major turning point in my Minecraft career, because this was the map that got me on the Voxelbox. Which is weird when we actually go into this, because it is not a great map. I was not a good builder. But just some happenstances that happened before and during this map led me to ended up leading me to join New Grumpton USA, which then became the Voxelbox, and thus led to me becoming a much better builder. Not only, also encountering a lot of, getting a bunch of friends, a few from this map, and tons more from the Voxelbox, but giving me a place where I could actually learn from people who knew how to build better, and improve my own building skills immensely, because this map, again, is bad. The buildings are bad. You will see when we get in there. But you could even see like a bits of improvement that happened during this map too, that I'm going to point out. And some things in here that would eventually lead to stuff I did on the Voxelbox with Sealth and Panoras. And it was also during a major transition period in my own life, too, going from Whatcom Community College to the year in Montana. And it's just a tumultuous history for myself in there. So it's a very important map to me, and I wanted to show it off. There's not a huge amount. For as big of a project as this was, it never was able to live up to it, which is why it never amounted to anything, due to several mistakes on my part, as well as other issues, even with Minecraft itself. Well, let's go ahead and enter in to Project Kontinent of the Digicraft Projects, and immediately find ourselves surrounded by a bunch of nonsense. This save was the second to last save. The last save had more of this thing that I was working on, dug out, blown out with TNT. Because by the time I was doing this, I was doing part survival, part creative, using creative to spawn in resources, and then survival, peaceful survival. And on peaceful, right? Yes. I generally always play this map on peaceful. To actually, build it. Just using creative. I'm not even sure if it was really creative mode so much as commands to spawn in stuff. Because late in the map history, I was realizing, I really can't be trying to do this on pure survival. This is too big of a project. Although it was too big of a project in general, because unfortunately, the goal of this map, the goal of Project Kontinent, it was part of the Digicraft Projects. There's 3 projects: Project Kontinent, Project Bach, Project Encyclopedia. Project Kontinent is the map. Project Bach was a story that took place in the map. Project Encyclopedia was basically just a wiki that was going to have all the information about all the lore and history and everything about the map and story. It wasn't really that important. Project Bot and Project Encyclopedia were the important ones. I see cows, I am going to kill them because I already know you are going to annoy me. Mobs will spawn everywhere in this version of Minecraft. We're in beta 1.3. Which was the version right around... Well, it had to convert the map to a new file system when I brought this in, though the map was zipped up at the time that literally the exact time that this version was released. Or technically, the first version of 1.3, the second version here, it was a bug fix that was released like a day or two later. But still. So I'm guessing it was technically 1.2 that I was working on this. Though I would imagine that since it was zipped at that point, beta 1.3 was when I finished doing like the last bit of construction. And what I had done at that point was, I don't know if I had made the roof here of this, but I had dug down more and had more of this, dug out and blown out, and had made like an entryway from there that went down, had a room here, and then went down to, the bottom of the floor of this build, which is, if we get out here a little ways, get a little vantage point. Doop, doop, doop. Warehouse 13. Inspired by Warehouse 13, the sci-fi / sci-fi show. As you can see, just from the design of the facade here. I see a cow. I kill the cow. I'm not going to bother killing that one because that one's farther enough away. So yeah, this was going to be a big, massive project. Huge warehouse to store all my goods. All sorts of stuff inside of it. I even had a floor plan and everything drawn out for it. Which is why I had these, you can see these blocks spaced out with like little blocks sticking out. That was me measuring the distance of how far I had to go. But I was going to have this massive warehouse built into this massive mountain because it's good old school Minecraft map generation. And of course it's getting dark. And I don't know. Can I even... I'm not sure I can even do commands. There was probably a weird cut there that you just noticed. I was going to hit the escape key to enter the menu, accidentally hit the tilde key, which is my stop recording button. Whoops. Whoopsie-doodles. Chat is T. And yeah, it's not doing anything. So yeah, I can't do commands. Unfortunate. So now we can't see. It's so dark. Well, we'll start heading to the city instead. Which, when I did the first version of the video yesterday, I forgot how far... God, I really can't see, can I? This is annoying. Yeah. Alright. Compass is in this direction. I'm not seeing any lights yet. It is in this direction. Anyways, I know that. Should be like right over here. But I'm not seeing anything. Isn't this the lake? I didn't accidentally... Oh. That's why. I was on short. There it is! Didn't realize that key was the right. Because I changed the fog key to M. Duh. Yep. Here's Lynaker. I've really gotten off track of that. Cheap. Oh, I'm gonna have to kill all these cows. Yeah, it was going to be a massive warehouse that I was working on, but fortunately don't know where the last version of the map is. Probably on some external hard drive that I have, but those are still packed up at the moment. So, but this was good enough. I was intending that warehouse to be a big fancy warehouse. I was involved in the lore of things too. So I'm going to head down to the south end of the city here. Start on one end, go towards the other. Yeah, Project Bach is a story that took place in here, and we'll see like little pieces of evidence of that because I did include bits and pieces related to the story into the world, because of course I did. I gotta get up there. There's no sprinting in this version, unfortunately. Kill all these guys in the graveyard, or dancing on my friends' graves. Get out of here. Die. Die. Animals are so annoying in this day and age. Young'uns don't know how honestly kind of bad Minecraft could be sometimes. We don't even have shift clicking in this. They just keep spawning. It's so annoying. Anyways, this is a little boat dock here. I had to have these like little indents for your boats because boats back then were awful and would just fly off if you touched them, you know, with your pinky toe. And then they'd, you know, hit a wall and just shatter into a million pieces. Boats were bad this age. Down here we got a little what's it called? Nether portal, yeah. Another portal that was built when the Nether was first introduced, no less. Not gonna bother going into the Nether though, because there don't think there was any. Actually, you know what, let's do go into the Nether. I don't think there's anything really in here, but might as well. Oh yeah, big fancy flaming entrance and everything. But yeah, I don't think there's actually really... Yeah, I didn't actually really do anything down here. Ouch. Do you have like torches leading down here for some reason? And like a little bridge. I guess it's because of exploring. I don't think I... Alright, and getting close down. Never really did any building down here though. So just go ahead and head back. Yeah, Project Bach, I did actually write a few chapters. Still have them saved, actually. Found them last night. But it was never really good. Just back during that time frame, before the Aberdeen, before, you know, the anniversary that we're celebrating here, which was the creation of the Aberdeen. You know, it didn't really have stories that were good, or at least good enough, or, you know, fleshed out enough, or figured out enough. This was a time frame when I was still bad. Honestly. I wouldn't say fully bad, because there were good things I had in that chicken. Whatchamacallit? Imbalance. Which I was working on around this time frame too. With my friends. But I still wasn't like a great writer, and I was awful at prose. First thing to look at here, lighthouse number 2. I believe this is the only one that's labeled. I'm pretty sure that's lighthouse number 1. That's number 3, and obviously this one's 2. And then you have like a little. I actually forget what I called it. I'll have to go back and look when we're over there. It's like a little mini lighthouse as well. The Philic Light, no trespassing. Yeah, it wasn't my intention for this to look like what it looks like, but that's how it ended up, so that's what I named it. Obviously, you know, changing the words slightly, though. Okay. Here we got the Lynaker Memorial Graveyard, which will have a few story characters in. I'll come back to this in a moment. My little orca, it's kind of hard to see at night here, so I'll wait till the day. At least for the moment, take a look at this nice little bridge. I am actually, of all the things on this map, this is one of the few things, along with this, which we'll be able to, again, get a better look at in a moment, once the sun rises. This is one of the few things I am actually still really proud of, is this bridge. Because obviously, like, we didn't have upside down stairs and limited blocks at the time I built this. This is a fairly early thing I built too, so there's some stuff that came in after I built this in terms of Minecraft updates. But I just really like the little flow of it and how it's constructed. Yes. Completed 1842 AL, which means after Lynaker. Peace Avenue Bridge. It's a nice little bridge. You get a nice little view downtown. But this is obviously Lynaker, the capital city of Lynaker in the nation of Lynaker. Continent was, as the name implies, going to be a full continent with multiple nations. There was Lynaker here, Samiamu, which was going to be off in that direction towards where that lighthouse is. Planus, off in that direction on the other side of Farmco, which we'll go to Farmco. Cagnari, which was kind of adjacent to that. It's like some of the mountains past where W13 is over there. There's also, what else? Namblos, which was more towards the south. Cape Point, which was a cape way off in that direction. I'd have to take a boat out there, but we're not going to go like that far out to some of these other nations because nothing was ever built there. It's just scenery. And then there was the Wildlands, which was a massive stretch of area until you got to the other nation of Aunt, way off in the east, which was like an evil empire that was important for the story. The Wildlands were, as the name implies, just wildlands. They weren't actually part of any nation. But unfortunately, was never able to complete it. A number of things got in the way, my own lack of building skill. I mean, you can see how kind of dull and drab all of this is. It's not very good. Even that clock tower in the background, just like, ugh. Like compared to the clock tower in National Academy that I can build now, I have, partially built on Minecraft server. I was never able to finish it, unfortunately. Even built a version as well in like the area that new players go to build in what is the name of the server? Some old boxers around it. Why am I blanking on it? Come on. What's it called? Hold on. I'm gonna press escape, not tilde. Pull up Minecraft launcher here. Theta blocks. There we go. Minimize launcher. Back to game. Yeah, I built a version of it, Theta blocks too, which is like a slightly fancier version of it. Because the original version was built to be used as a reference for the comic, so it's a little more basic to, for that purpose. Whereas, they spruced it up a little bit for the Theta blocks version of it. Which I should probably try going back to that server at some point. If one of you Theta blockers are watching this, sorry for leaving, but same issues that I had with everything else, which I will go into with the CPP update video. Just mainly time, energy, all that nonsense. Maybe I'll think about doing it later if I turn out to have the time to do that. Yeah, this is an orca statue. It is actually a recreation of, would be technically one of three because there's 3 orcas on the fountain at Wacom Community College that are shaped kind of like this. And I was kind of proud of myself getting this, being able to figure out shape and get it to look nice. Yeah, a little orca statue. There we have the graveyard here, where we have some important names line. So the way these graves work, you have the name of the person who's dead at the top, what they were, / who they were, how they died, and when they lived, was born and died. BLs don't have dates on them because there were no dates before Lynaker. Nebuchadnezzar, Sulphur's king, fell off the tower, reference to Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon and the Tower of Babel. Soldalg, scientist, thrown in fire. Obviously, GLaDOS. Should note this was before Portal 2, so I just said scientist. Obviously, this would be different if I had done this after Portal 2. Thrown in fire because incinerator. Head, cheese lover, Mamba fans. I think this is supposed to be a reference to Cheeseheads, but it might also be reference to... I think it's actually, yeah, the Mamba fans, I think this might be a reference to a person who went by Cheesehead in Minecraft. And thinking on it, that might... I don't know. It's one of 3 things. Either a YouTuber, / streamer, a well-known server host or person who runs the server, or someone I knew. I don't remember. Maybe this is Mitch's grave, because I know there are 3 people I met from live streaming this map and me making this map: Pear, Mitch, and Featherblade. And we'll be talking a fair bit about Featherblade in a moment. This graveyard was made during a live stream. I'm pretty sure I made the orc statue during the live stream too. And that's when you did all these signs. And I want to say that this was someone on the live stream. I don't know if it's what Mitch's name was or if that was someone else. Beethoven, deaf composer, died. I just like Beethoven. Gabe Mistral, architect, died peacefully. This is a character from Project Bach. Coolpilot, architect, died peacefully. Sort of me, sort of not. It's complicated. This kind of got retconned anyways later on with Panora's as I, Lord Pilot, having founded Lynaker, later sailed off to distant lands to found Panora's. But yeah, my now non-canonical grave. There's Pear. Eats a fruit. He was eaten. 0, Zilcher divided himself. I don't remember if this was a character, a person who watched the live streams that I learned about then, or if this was just a joke. But yeah. Bob, he was a person. He died. That was just a joke. The most boring grave imaginable. Falem, host of Falem's servers, politician killed by grief. Yeah, this is just named after Falem. He ran a number of servers during Classic that I played a lot. I want to say that the server I first met Featherblade on, who is over there, which was a server. It was going to be a server that we were going to do at the beginning of SMP, when SMP first released. There was a group that was going to run a server that the goal was to build a massive underground city. But survival multiplayer wasn't really ready at the time, and that combined with other issues made it so that the server ended up not really going through. There was technically at least a day or two where the server was up, but it just worked so poorly that it kind of got abandoned and it never came back. I want to say that Falem was the one that was doing that server, but I don't remember for sure. I don't even remember what the server's name was. Probably had to save somewhere. And in fact, I still have the maps I made, because my contribution to that server was originally I almost started out by offering one of many potential city plans. But I eventually settled on, I'm just going to focus on building a greenhouse, because I had a bit of experience with that with FarmCo, and I had gotten a little bit better on that since then. So I was going to contribute by helping grow some food for everybody. And that's kind of where I had my interactions with Featherblade over there, because he was also going to be part of that server, and he was also suggesting stuff. And that was the first interaction with him. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I would have to dig through some of my papers and to find the maps I made to have the name on them. I would say, Interme would, put it on screen later, but I'm not going to have the time to do that. I'd have to figure out which box it's even in, which box I packed it in. Numerial Lightning, Sound Expert, Sunshine Death. I'm pretty sure this is also referring to a person, but I don't know who this is at all. Unfortunately, I just don't remember. Rana, Frog Girl, Burned to Death. Rana was a Minecraft mob for a while. He had some weird Minecraft mobs. I want to say that they were called dock mobs, but I don't remember or dox bombs. I don't remember if that's true or not. I don't have Enter Me. Look it up. I put it on screen a little later. Yeah, she was a part of in dev. I actually bought Minecraft early enough to have played the versions that had Rana in it, but I didn't play in dev soon enough after buying Minecraft to actually play that version. Granted, I could have downloaded an older version, but I never did. So I never actually got to meet Rana and light her on fire myself, which is a thing that people love to do. Here we have Featherblade. Feather, use a Blazeman, use Beheaded. Use a Blazeman because Featherblade, and use Beheaded because Blade. Yeah. Yeah, Featherblade was really, really important to me. He, obviously, I originally met him through that server. And then he came onto my live streams. And I don't know what he saw in this, especially considering how much of a better builder he was even then. But I guess maybe he saw, the potential, maybe? Because one thing I didn't have the building skills at this point, right? Clearly. But I had vision. And that's true of, a lot of my, creative endeavors that I, tried to do back in the day. Was I had vision, I just didn't have the skill yet. I have, skill now with building. I have skill now with writing. I don't have skill with drawing yet. That's something I'm currently having to work on. But I have the vision. I have the brain for it. And maybe that's what he saw, was the vision. But clearly I wasn't really skilled. But he took interest in it, in Project Kontinent here, and in me. Invited me onto Northumpton, USA, along with, several other people, to help him build the Hanging Gardens, which was a build that he had block by block made a blueprint for. I'm not sure if that's what led to this Nebuchadnezzar reference. Was him, talking about that, based off Hanging Gardens of Babylon. But he invited me on. I helped build it, along with a number of other people. I know Cisco and Ridge Dog both helped out too. I don't remember who else was on when we were doing that. But afterwards, I was invited to stick around, look around at some of the other builds, and was even invited to build. So I found a little peninsula across the water from Halcyon and the Citadel, and started digging. Originally by hand because it was survival, but it was still starting like a survival server, but building creatively. Weird. The original setup, it wasn't like a creative server yet, but it became one, not long after that. Especially when it, became, Ridgelog took over and eventually became the Voxbox. And then I started building seals. And I stayed there for several years. And met all sorts of different people, from Koopa to Andy to Plus9 to Perserwamp to Molly B to so many others. So many people. Many of which I unfortunately don't remember the names off the top of my head like those ones did. I'm sorry if I don't remember your name. I'm just bad with names. If I saw your name, I would remember it. And that's where I learned to build and become a good builder. So, yeah. Here we have one politician, Sizzle and Lava. I want to say this is referencing someone as well, but I don't know for sure. Ice, froze to death. I think this might also be a reference to a person too. Herobrine, mobologist, killed by a slime. Herobrine was actually a character in Project Bach. Herobrine hadn't been around that long at this point. I actually watched the original stream, for Ghost in the Stream stream. That started the whole Herobrine hoax. And it was very obviously a hoax. And anyone that thinks that Herobrine is not a hoax, you're dumb. Herobrine is a hoax. It's fake. Herobrine is not real. Believe the conclusion that everyone came to was from the original Ghost in the stream, live stream, was that they were using iron doors, reskinned iron doors, for Herobrine, and then just acting. But yeah, I decided to incorporate it because Herobrine had become a bit of a urban legend, Minecraft urban legend at that point. To include it in the story. Miner, politician, dead of an angry mob. Thomas the sheep drowned. I think this is a reference to a YouTuber thing. Might be X's playthroughs, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty dang sure Thomas was just a sheep that someone had named on one of their videos and it drowned. Or something. So yeah. Yeah, this map was very, very important to kind of my Minecraft career. All thanks to Featherblade. Across the water, we got 201 Park Avenue by the Bag Cafe. A little dining area. You order your pickup. Got the prices of different things. I called it mushroom stew, mushroom smoothies, because I think, right, I was using a painterly texture pack, so some of the textures here aren't quite what they were, because obviously I'm just using vanilla here, but I don't have the original texture pack, at least on this computer. I probably have it saved somewhere else, but I don't know where. So I have just used regular, vanilla Minecraft textures here. But yeah, I guess I must have changed the mushroom stew to be like a smoothie. Then we got bread and pork chops. And prices are in bars, which are meant to be gold bars. Employees only, outdoor seating. Yeah, some nice outdoor seating out here by the bridge. Nice little view of the water. And a little outlet here. And back in this day, I used slabs for chairs. Like every time I did a chair, I did a slab for it. I'm not sure if wood stairs existed yet. Get a little first here. And then kitchen. Watch the stoves. Some chests. Even got food in one of these. Some stew. I'm actually going to... Oh, I got some pork chops in there too. Some bread in there. There's bags in there. I'm going to go ahead and drop off this TNT because I don't need it. One by one because there's no shift clicking in this version of Minecraft. Might as well drop off the clay to the stone and stuff I can keep on me. Because I wanted to check... Are stairs a thing? Yes, wood stairs are a thing. Click the wood back. So I hadn't yet learned how to do good chairs with stairs and signposts, which was kind of the bog standard at this day and age. But I was just using slabs. This was a little park. Tons of trees. Most of these trees were planted. I think a couple big trees spawned, but I also modified those big trees. Rage into this little area. Exit over here. But you can see like some thick branches there. I modified a few of these big trees to have more branches. And obviously I have some torches up there. I had to put them. You couldn't put them onto leaf blocks, so I had to put a piece of dirt up there to help light up the tree for a bit of scenery. And got some benches here. Just some seating. All the roads are named, by the way. Lake Avenue, Park Avenue. I think there's only one that's not named. Central Avenue, Highway 2. And over here, National Way, Highway 1. We have a little lake here. This lake actually goes out to there's a canal over there. Can't really see because of how dark it is. But we'll take a closer look at the canal over there. I built the canal all the way over here to this lake, so that way I can put about here, go through the canal, go out through the water, and out into the main bay over there. Now this building was actually a bit of, ended up being a bit of an inspiration for Whirlwind Manor in Seath on the box. Just because of the whole, square layout, dome at the top, the towers on the side, very minor inspiration for that eventual build. Also, this pattern in the middle thing. I'm not sure what exactly this was beyond some sort of mansion. I'm not sure who was supposed to own it. Never finished the big widescreen TV and bookshelves that was supposed to be here. Some benches around this little pond thing. Dining room. Kitchen. Inside here we have these little mini towers. See the little dome over there. And these are also the staircases to get up to the second floor. These rooms are empty. Don't even have any lights on in them. Granted, I was playing it peaceful, so yeah, there you can see the dome. You also notice that the cobblestone here lines up with the cobblestone up there. Another thing that helped kind of inspired stuff for Whirlwind Manor. Did somewhat similar thing of having like the whirlpool design on the dome over the whirlpool design that was on the floor. Yeah, we got like a little bedroom, old school beds, because beds weren't introduced into Minecraft until the version after this. But even then, if you wanted to make a bed, you had limited options. So I used, a double stack of slabs for the pillows, wool for bed, and then obviously logs for like the ends. And then a larger bed here. Jump into the water. Still get hurt. Don't have any armor on. Also, don't have my skin, but yeah, I gotta live with that. Off the distance, you can see the castle. At least the towers of the castle. Like the main castle was never finished. Obviously, we'll go see that in a while. We can see the incomplete tower there, which is literally its name, by the way. That is literally called the incomplete tower. The other two, I don't think ever had names. But you kind of see them off in the distance. And that's where that canal I was talking about goes into there. On the other side of the train yard there. Here we have Grand Central Station. We will take a look at that later when we go off to Farm Coast, since we kind of have to go through here anyways. Old Lynaker Apartments. Probably the most important building here. Not for like me or anything, like garden out there, a little table, but just in terms of like the most important building in this map, because this one had the most story-related stuff actually built out for it. Because all these rooms have characters. This is an apartment. So Ms. Davidson is the owner, Suite 101. She has a nice, large little room here. And all these people were characters in the story. This apartment complex was really important. Sir Davenport, which it amuses me how close that is to Davenport. I noticed that when I did the first version of this video last night. Davenport. Yeah, nice little room as well, little sofa. Up here, Suite 201, John Williams, named after the composer. Got some decent views out of these. Oh, okay views. And then, the only room where the door was already open. And I left this door open all the time on purpose. Because this is the bedroom of the main character, Suite 202, Lila Mistral. You'll recognize the last name from the graveyard over there. Yeah, she has a nice little room. A little bit more fleshed out. A bed, chest, record player, crafting table in the middle, furnaces, sofa, and a chest here with 7 diamonds in it. Those were her diamonds. I don't know why I'm closing it. I'm not supposed to close it. So yeah. Lila Mistral in Project Bach was actually a human. Not just, this type of human, but like a human from the real world. At a sort of Tron-esque thing where there's a weird some weird experiment or something. She ended up stuck inside Minecraft world. 401 Central Avenue, Lynaker National Bank. This is a kind of a weird build for a bank. I will freely admit that right now. You have this sort of like castle-like theme. Like little. I don't think they're called rafters. I don't know what these are called. Defensive area. Little tracks going in here. Cargo hole. It's like, that doesn't look like a D, so it doesn't look like cargo hold. But yeah, cargo hole and emergency light. Never really built this out. The little emergency light is turned on by a lever on the other side. I don't know why I bothered to go all the way around. I could have just gone back through there. But well. Let's see, like the main room here. So yeah, there's the emergency light. Employee area over there. This is where you'd come in. This is where you just kind of, you'll get checked. This is like a security checkpoint. It's not where you actually get the money. You come down here. And this is where you get your money. Employee rooms in the back. Little minecart tracks that go up to that room. Meant to transport stuff that come in from the cargo hold down to here. And then you have the vault over there. To activate the vault, this ladder just goes down to the redstone. Activate the vault. You have a person in each room. Has to flip their lever to open the vault. But if one of the people at the counters, it's a robbery, emergency, they can flip that one to close the vault, regardless of whether those two are still open. And you have an obsidian vault for security. And this is where all the gold was going to be stored. But I only had 4 bars. Seems they already got robbed. Boop. Yeah, go ahead and head back up. Show off the other little room in here. Alright, here. So it's security checkpoint. Stuff comes in through the cargo hole, and then they transport it to other minecarts that then go down there. So that's how that was supposed to work. But I never built out the minecart track. Before we go any farther, like in that direction, go to the UN over here. United Avenue. Also, the UN is situated between United Avenue and Peace Avenue. Guess what its address is? There we are. Central Avenue, which is this one. Because this, opens up through here. It ended up with Central Avenue address instead of the 2 avenues that are actually named after it. So this is the meeting and bunker room. Normally you'd have something sitting here. Flip the lever, open it up. I left that kind of like openish so I could actually get into here. And you got just a meeting room. Not that impressive, really. As I said, I was not a very good builder in this day and age. Then this is the Lynaker Complex Downtown Center, United Nations. And this is like an especially egregiously kind of bad build. Just these desks. It's a weirdly shaped building. There's multiple floor after floor. It's just desks. And that's it. Till you get to the roof. Do these have good view from here? You can see W13 way off in the distance. That is actually a cool view because the city wasn't going to go much farther east. I was going to do a little bit of stuff here and over there and on this peninsula, but that was about it. So that would always be kind of off in the distance, quote unquote. I did remember it being farther south than it actually was. That was that way, but there isn't anything that way. It's just water. But it's kind of a full view. See the castle off there. There's the actual castle here. This is kind of just a wall of grain that you can't really see particularly well. It's just tons of cobblestone. And then the towers in the distance. And then the rest of Lynaker, the bridge, and see the lighthouses, 1, 2, and 3. Can kind of see the top of the dome over there. Don't quite have enough render distance to see the buildings over here. You can see all the mansions over here. You can see one. You can only see like the front of CP Mansion. That's still a decent view. Back down we go. Out the door. You got the water along here. Next stop. Warehouse 10? I think this is 10. Right? This is 10? Yes, Warehouse 10. International Warehouse Company. Which is what all these warehouses across my maps are part of. Warehouse 10, Warehouse 13, which is, it's technically Warehouse 13. They even had a sign over there for that. But I generally call it W13. Warehouse 7 is over at Formco. Warehouse 4, I want to say, is Sea Light. And I forget what the warehouse at Hangar was. Or maybe Hangar was Warehouse 4. I don't remember. It's Warehouse 10, which is the main warehouse I use. You can see all sorts of junk I got in here. Diamond armor from when I was doing, not peaceful. Got some things here. Cobblestone, tons of it. Sand, dirt. Might not seem like I have much dirt, but that's because it pulled out of that chest. There's still a lot more dirt. Some random stuff over here. Oh no, it's just continuation, right? I do have a bit of stuff up top. That's kind of bridge that goes over, and it's a nice staircase. I want to say it's in one of these. No, it's the other side. Or maybe it's the end chests. Nope, the other side. It's got a bridge over here with tons of furnaces, right? Some coal. And yeah, there's where my bricks are. There we go. And some like mob drop stuff and a saddle. Yeah, it's just a big old storage warehouse. Doop. Doop. Starting to get dark. So head on over to, what is this avenue called? Government Street, yes. Hey. 201 Government Avenue. Wait. A government street, and then I just put Government Avenue. Not even consistent. Treasury of Lynaker. This one had a bit of a complex redstone system. So this goes out to the rail yard. Treasury would get shipments in. They would come through the rail yard over to here. They'd stop here. Employee would take it off of that minecart, put it onto a separate minecart, so that way people couldn't get like a minecart in and out of the treasury without having someone inside. So yeah. Then here you'd have someone in here that would lock themselves in. And in order to get people in and out, you have to flip this lever to open up that door, and then flip this lever to open up another couple set of doors. Although that didn't open this door. Not perfect redstone. Vault. So you have the door here, you have a door here, and a door there. And this is the vault. Chests would come into here, and then they'd pile stuff up in here. My intention was to have a bunch of gold blocks piled up in here, but never got to that. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of incomplete in this map. Fire Street here. Here's that canal I was mentioning earlier, over here. Originally these roads would have continued and bridged over, but never got that far. It's from there, all the way down to there, to some water over there. We'll look at it in a bit. But here is the fire station next to City Hall. Lynaker Fire Department. One of my better builds on this map, honestly. Got a little lounge with some books and stuff. Here we got a nice big TV with a couch that's literally right next to it. This would be a pain to try and watch, honestly, but Over here you have what amounts to like where the fire truck would be, but there was no fire truck. Just fire buckets. Oh, water buckets, not fire buckets. Here we got the fire pole. We'll get back to that. Upstairs we got this little table with furnace and stuff. So basically like the dining room, kitchen. Here we got the bedrooms, chests, beds, and a couple desks. And then caution, fire pole. Yeah, you immediately go out. You go down the fire pole and then you immediately through the store out to where the water buckets are. Efficiency. It's actually well laid out, well thought out. Good interior for this time frame for me. Temple Street here, which is what the City Plaza or City Hall is on, although it counts as being on Government Street because, of course, it's going to be City Hall. Here you have like your main counter. Boop. Sit on these because these are seats. Well, actually, no. In this case, I think it was they stand here, here, and here. This is the case for this specific one. Over here, we have the City Council room. There's benches. City Council. Yap at the civilians. Get yelled at by civilians. It's a corner that I didn't really do anything with. Boop. Officials' offices. So you just got some offices in here. A missing piece of glass for some reason. There's a few of these around the map. I'm not sure why. I think it's just because I ran out of glass at some point while building it and just never got back to making and filling it in. It was kind of a weird shaped desk. And another desk here. And these offices were never finished either. They're meant to have a bit more furnishings. And over here we have the staircases down. And the hangar room. This is actually a bit of an important room, despite the fact that it's completely unfurnished. Obviously, this is the basement of the City Hall. This combination of bricks on top of stone, obviously I'd use bricks and stone, up above and on the fire department over there. I'm not sure if I did the fire department first or second, but having this very specific look. You have a couple bricks on top of a smooth stone bottom and floor. I really, really liked the look of it, and still do. And this helped to contribute to some of the block and color combination decisions that I would end up using in Sealth on the Voxabox. So this actually, building this room actually did affect me a little bit. I also like the placement of these pillars. They help to kind of break up the room really nicely. It was just called the hangar room because that's what it reminded me of in terms of how it looked. It looked like it would be like a hangar. Down Temple Street, that's the warehouse. That's the stock market. We haven't gone to the stock market yet. It's Commerce Street. World Trade Center. Charity donations. Completely empty. And purposely so. I heard some other doors opening. I don't know if that was just sound issues or what. But yeah, charity donations is purposely left empty because what would anyone here actually donate to charity? Up here we got the stock market, Lynaker Transport Company, Nation National Bank, Farmco. I think, obviously the bank is really high value, but Farmco's pretty highly valued too. Lynaker Entertainment, Warehouse 13, 143 bars. I think that's the most valuable one. Also, did Warehouse 13 Company. I think this was before it might have been before I built the other warehouses. So now it'd be International Warehouse Company. Or maybe I had it as being a separate sub company. I don't remember, but still 143 bars. yeah, by far the highest on here. Lynaker Real Estate, 76. Lynaker Water Company, Lynaker Architecture, Lynaker Construction. And then we have the indexes over here. Lynaker 25, the World Select, and the Continent 500. And over here we have goods listings, so like the price for getting various goods in bulk. So yeah, you know, point, and these are all per bars, like how many you can get per bar. So diamond tool, you can get 0.1 of a diamond tool per bar. So basically a single diamond tool would be 10 bars. But these like bulk tools, so you know it's kind of like you'd be getting like sets of them rather than a single one. Saddle 0.1 per bar as well. Iron armor 0.1 per bar. Interesting that iron armor is the same as diamond tool. Right, D's is dozen, HD is half dozen. So these aren't like make the most sense for prices, but hey, I was filling it out. Doing what good. Exchange rates. Yeah, here you can see some of the other nations thanks to the exchange rates. This is exchange rates of their currencies to Lynakers. So Cape Point, down 93, down 3%. Semiamu, 100%. It's even. They're right next to each other, so it's pretty much always even. Kagnari, 98%, up 2%. Economy is improving. Plain is 52%, down 7%. It's a relatively poor nation. Nominal, 67%, up 1%. Relatively so as well. Aunts, 7%, down 1%. I mean, they're enemies, so naturally not really doing much commerce. Also, Aunt is like, Aunt is super industrial, but doesn't really deal with outside nations, so exchange rates are poor. Really, really bad. Necessities listings. So, like how much like different things cost, how many you can get per. Oh yeah, S stacks. So yeah, you can read over that yourself if you want to. Oh yeah, and actually, yeah, I have the breakdown here. B is a bar, D is a dozen, S is a stack, H is half. And then down here we have Temple Street. We have Notch Temple, the Church of Notch. Donations to charity, a single feather. Got like a little chandelier. Some benches, pews. This is not something I would do these days. This is back when I still idolized Nosh a lot. Don't anymore. If you're aware of some of the things he's said and done, you'd understand why. So yeah, not the sort of thing I do today, but it's part of this map already. Lynaker Hospital. This is a terrible hospital, I'm going to tell you that right now. Got the main desk here, some benches, like a little kitchen area for people to serve themselves some food while they're waiting. I think this is like another like a little waiting area here. Oh, is this the emergency room? Yeah, this is the emergency room. Waiting area. Then we got an operating room, sink, operating table, pork chops. Oh yeah, I did this on purpose. This is actually a little bit of a joke. It's like supposed to be like human flesh that they've left in here. Then hospital rooms, seating area, and helipad upstairs. So here's a little seating area, just for people to sit around, enjoy the view. Forgot that there's like a little bit of a top to that. You can't get up there normally. Yeah, here we have a little bit nicer view of. Oof, if I can get up there, I don't think I can. If I say don't think I can literally do it right here. And here we get a little view of. I forget what this area of Lynaker was called, but it's like the mansion area, the rich area over there on the other side of the water. And of Lighthouse 1, Lighthouse 2 in the background. Hotel over there. Still see the castle from here too. And we fit up the ladders. Here we got one hospital room. I think you have to go up ladders to get to the hospital rooms. It's kind of silly. Second one. And all the way up at the top. Yeah, not bad. We got the best view. Honestly, probably the best view of the city as a whole, period. Because here you can see the west part, the graveyard, and Philic Light. You can see lighthouse number 2, lighthouse number 1. You can see across the water here to the mansions, the massive mountain in the background. You can look over the entirety of downtown Lynaker. You can see the castle in the background, and the complete tower. Basically, you'll see everything that Lynaker has to offer from here. You can also jump off into the water from here. And across the road, we have the Lynaker Museum. This is one of the few things I used creative mode on early on. Because using creative mode was more of a thing I did much later. But you can still tell, obviously, I did it here in order to get these ores into place because Silk Touch didn't exist yet. So I had to spawn in a number of these blocks in order to get them in here. That includes, I think, the sponge and snow blocks weren't available yet either, if I remember correctly. Pretty dang sure about the sponge at the very least. Not 100% sure about the snow. But yeah, the ores I had to spawn in, obviously. But just a little, dioramas, some different rare blocks, and also a nice little view area of the view of the surrounding area. Do not walk on glass. Walk, 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 walk. Jump, jump, jump. Break. And downstairs, we have the inverted pyramid. And a bunch of art. None of this stuff is the correct art because don't have the texture pack. In fact, here, the mysterious hymn artist concept. This particular painting was textured to be Herobrine. Then over here, you can see that the Mona Lisa and Last Supper are undergoing restoration. Wonder where they are then. Also, at the inverted pyramid here, at least another pyramid, there's a suspicious door down there. Gee, I wonder, how do we get to there? Maybe through the painting. I was thinking that maybe there was a way to get through on the side, but no, there isn't, because there's no torch there. Yeah, take off the painting, go through those couple wood blocks, and you have the access down to here. And then we head all the way down. This is where the Last Supper and the Mona Lisa were. But obviously, they're different paintings here because vanilla texture pack. Back up we go. One of the few places I actually used stair blocks. Okay. So Hall Avenue. Follow that down here. Sheep jumping around over there. Question mark, National Way, Police Department, and Jail. No address because I didn't settle on that. Yeah, it's the Police Department. Little, dining room, lounge room back here in the front desk. And then a bridge up. A staircase up. This is the bridge up over the next road that's right over here. Up here you have desks and offices. I apparently never finished the roof. There we go. I'm just not going to stick because I'm not saving this version of the map. Then you have the chief of police office. The bridge over to the jail. All the jail cells basically the same, just bed with desk. And the top and bottom are kind of copies of each other. Just kind of mirrored. And that's the only way in and out of this jail, too. Like, this jail's on another block, but the only way in and out of it is through... You can see there's the jail. Municipal jail. Is through the police department. So if you see me walking at strange angles, that's because I'm taking my hand off the mouse to scratch my itchy nose. I think there must be pollens or something going around, because I've been having some extra sinus issues and itchiness the last few days. Here you can see where I did a bit of demolition work. Early on, when I started building this, there's this big old hill that just kind of went, straight across here. I don't know if it went all the way across this area. I'm pretty sure there was a hill like right in here too. But there's this hill as well. Originally had like stacks of chests on these hills with supplies. You can see, blew out some of this area to make way for this canal that I made. So I have a bit of a dip here. Alright, yeah, because some sand fell and there's a cave down there. I never finished dealing with that. Yeah, the canal empties out to here, to this little dockyard. But we'll come back and look at that proper a little bit later because we're gonna go down that way to the mansions, out to the lighthouses, and then take the boat back to here and go to the castle, and then back to the whatchamacallit. Train station. There we go. So here we got a nice big old bridge. Municipal Way. Oh, not Municipal Way. National Way Bridge. Completed 1850 AL. Just a big old large covered bridge. Got some views. Best views over here, but got some good views over here. Lighthouse one over there. It has sunsets. You can also tell my lighthouses were really weird in this day and age. Just did like pillars of lava, and then these weird kind of constructs around them. That's mainly because the pillars of lava were the best way to kind of see things in the dark. You can see the water dome over there. And there's that little mini lighthouse. And here we have our mansions. CP mansion there. We'll go to that in a minute. First off, we have this. What is this called? Open style mansion. Right. Because I was using fences for the windows, basically. This side of town was basically like my experimental area where I was trying different sorts of things. So this is like kitchen, storage. Here you got a bedroom. Here you have TV, family room, table, bookshelves. So yeah, I was trying different stuff. Seeing what will work, what didn't. Trying to expand my horizons. Here we have CP Manor. I wanted to do, like this bit was supposed to be like marble, but white wool was the closest thing we had back in the day. It was a little boat dock again, kind of weird shape where you have to go all the way around to here to get out. But again, that's because boats were dumb and broken. So yeah, I had to basically use white wool as a replacement for marble because it's the best we had. Bit of an error there. It's a nice big open entryway. Big window in the back that would have looked out to stuff once I had actually dug more of the back out. Big grand staircase going up both sides. Over here we got dining room, the kitchen, complete with a little sink. Why are you so itchy, nose? This is getting really, really annoying. Here we have the living room, big TV, stereo system, a little table in the middle. This was my mansion, so put extra effort into it. This room I never furnished just because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to put here. Little bookshelves kind of hidden on the sides of the grand staircase to make use of the space, and then a little den library here, and then the main library over here. Then up the grand staircase. Over here we have one of the bedrooms. And the master bedroom, aka my bedroom. With chests. A little bit of stuff in there. Just from killing mobs around here. And then an attic. Oh, at least this side of the attic. There's an attic on both sides. Another chest. And hidden, another portrait of Herobrine that I just hid in this little spot. Alright, and then on the other side, not sure if there really is much of anything. Oh no, there's another bedroom here. It's a little record player. I think this room is empty. Yeah, this room is empty, as is this side of the attic. Not up here. Oh, empty minus this one chest, because that was a natural spot for a chest. So yeah, I was quite proud of this, especially like the roof line and how it worked as well. It took a lot of work building this one. It's probably one of the buildings I spent the most time on. And I'm quite proud of how it ended up coming out. And as you can see... Shut up. Shut up. As you can see, I use stairs for... I don't know why I didn't think... It's not that it might not have been wood stairs in this version, but it's a little hard to tell in the dark at the moment. But I used wood stairs for the top of the roof, but obviously we didn't have upside down stairs yet to use on the bottom. And we head over here, past some caves. We get to modern mansion. This big reed wall in the front, both for looks as well as to serve as a skeleton shield. Because there was a time where skeletons literally could not shoot through reeds. The arrows would just hit the reeds. Kill all these annoying cows. Yeah, modern building. This is my first attempt at a sort of modern mansion. A little hard to get a good view of it, unless I'm out on the water, like of the overall construction. But you can kind of see bits of it there. So you got a little entryway here. Off to the left, we have dining room with a big lava fireplace. And some nice views of the outside. Over on the right, we have the living room, big old TV. Another table that could also be used as a secondary dining room table, especially since this is where the kitchen is, right here. And books. Back door just leads outside underneath of this awning isn't the word I'm looking for. I mean, it does serve as an awning, but not sure why it paused there. But this balcony, that's what I'm thinking of. So you have a shared balcony here. Look out over everything. Off to the right, we got a bedroom. Near the balcony. And another balcony. There's tons of balconies. On the second floor. The second floor is like half balconies at the hotel here. And then over to the other bedroom. Missing piece of glass. Got that balcony in the back. This is the master bedroom. This big bed. Furnishings. And of course, this is the master bedroom. It has 3 balconies. Including the largest balcony being this one. This sort of just glass hanging out, being kind of a little divider. And nice views again. And that big old dome in the water. So head back downstairs. Even like how I did the stairs too, like using slabs. Trying to give a more modern aesthetic to it. And here we have the big old hotel. Don't think I ever put a sign on this, did I? Doesn't look like it. So we got the check-in stand. would have been, you know, a little bit of stuff down there underneath the staircase. Got the pool, indoor pool. Back door leading out. It's even an indoor lighted pool. Obviously, as we go up, we have, you know, tons of hotel rooms. I'm not going to go into all of them, just, you know, peek into a few. Some are small, some are large. The large ones are the suites. Those are the ones that tend to have TVs. You're actually making like rooms of various sizes and everything. And with like different stuff in them as well. I think this was like one of the big suites here. Oops. Fell back down the staircase. No, that's just a double bedroom. It's not the master suite. Not sure if there is a master suite, actually. Might just be a couple of suites at the same size. And a big, you know, seating area up here. Just to sit around, pal around. You have some nice view of things through the fence windows. Surrounding terrain. And the floating tree off in the distance. Really wish I could run in this map. I'd have to bring it into a much newer version of Minecraft. Which, speaking of, you know, I mentioned, you know, there were a number of things that got in the way of the buildings map. The size of it was one. A staircase down here. Two. Go all the way down. This was going to be like a locker room I never made. Over here. Hot springs. And this also has another entrance out the front. Yeah, up here. And that's everything for over here. So now I have to go up and make a boat to go over here to this house to do that. Make a couple of them in case one of them breaks. Hey, craft tables over here. Doop. I'm gonna drop off some stuff as well. Clear up some room. So, yeah, obviously, I have to do it one at a time for now. Obviously, lack of skill and time played a big part in me not being able to really complete this map. But there were other issues that doomed this map regardless of that. Namely, chunk errors. It's a little hard to see from up here. We'll see it better once we go up into Lighthouse 1 there. Just want to give you guys a bit of another view of... And obviously we'll go down into there in a bit too. Some of the buildings here from the outside. But yeah, the chunk issues. There were a lot of like little chunk glitches that screwed up little areas, changing the terrain away from what it should have been, like things like rotations and stuff. Things that you see a lot of with chunk errors in Minecraft, especially back in this day and age, where things were a lot less stable. Here's a little close-up of Lighthouse 3. A little more simplistic, because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And Semiyamu over there. Nothing to climb up on this one, though, so we'll just turn around, head back to the main lighthouse, Lighthouse 1, and the little dome. But not only were there, you know, a number of chunk issues, but there was also map generation issues. Because as Minecraft kept updating, obviously map generation changed. And at one point, one time when I was out, you know, exploring, trying, you know, looking around more areas, we have to stop here because the entrance is on this side. God, bows are so bad. There we go. So we got a little glass dome in the water here. This took forever to actually do. By the way, I filled this all up with dirt in order to get rid of the water. And yeah, it goes up to the top of the water, so that way you get some true sunlight streaming in. And also placing all this glass and making it, perfect semi-sphere. A lot of work. Never actually furnished it. It's a shame. This was originally going to connect up with something on the mainland over here. I think it was originally going to connect up with the hotel. Alright. Or maybe it was just going to connect up with my house. I don't remember. It's going to connect up with something. What's the point? Like maybe like another building over here or something. But it never happened. As they went out and started generating new areas, obviously the map generation was completely different to the point where it led to massive cliffs. And obviously here, another weird boat dock in order to keep boats in one location so they don't fly off that way. But a little natural island here they built this lighthouse on. You love it here. Various layers with different patterns. A little observation deck here. Keep going up. Give a maintenance deck. And then the top observation platform. All the way at the very, very, very top. And then there's, keeps going up with, little fancy patterns and even more lava. Another one of the best views of Lynaker is when you get a little more of a overview of everything from outside of the city. The castle over there. So, with the generation being completely different, and the fact that my the nation boundaries I had, drawn up and envisioned. This could be some water there. Were frankly way too damn small. Like way too small. I grossly underestimated the amount of space that buildings would take up, and as such, what is this one called? Light hut, right? It's just called light hut because it's a little teeny tiny hut. Like even looking at the map of like what I figured Lynaker would be, like the whole nation, like the city would have taken up like 90% of it, just the city of Lynaker here. I did not really understand how much space you need for things back then. Because I wanted there to be multiple cities in this, nation of Lynaker. But wouldn't have really worked out particularly well. See, that's why you build these sorts of boat docks. So the boat doesn't go flying off anywhere. Yeah, just a fancy dock here, some seating areas, little, counter, desk here. Lynaker docks. And more, fallen sand. But up here we have the castle. Never came anywhere even close to being finished. And also, horrendously ugly. Look at all that freaking cobblestone. Oh, that looks awful. Horrible. Main entrance here. Like a couple little mini towers over there. Big open area here. A little staircase up to the second floor that was never finished either. And then just another opening out to here. So because of just lack of foresight, I never would have really had enough room for everything. So here we have the towers. These towers are supposed to be like mystical, magical constructs. They're not meant for like actual, like functional uses. Meant for magical uses. This one is meant to, coincide with the sun. The sun needs to be, up there and stream straight down onto here. See also some of these, fancy patterns around here. It's kind of like a precursor to my use of patterns in mosaic design, which I developed much more with Sealth and Panora's on the voxel box. There's another one that's, again, associated with the sun. All three of these are kind of associated with the sun, but, these two especially. This one has to be exactly noon. That one is, over there is like a little bit different. Yeah, it has to be like, that one's like more precise. And then you have the incomplete tower here. It's fancy pattern. I don't remember what the purpose of the incomplete tower was. I want to say it was... one half of my brain says it's supposed to be a mystical, magical thing. On the other half of my brain says it's a monument. But I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, this is built on top of this kind of mountain. Decent view stuff. You can see my chest down there. Got this big pathway. Some turnbacks that comes down to here. See some of my supplies. And eventually just comes down to the beach, and that's where it ends. So that's it for the city of the Lynaker. The only other thing to look at is come over here to... Oh yeah, just to reiterate how I underestimated the size. Here's the castle. Here's the railroad going out. Farmco is basically on the other side of like these mountains, right over there. Pretty dang close. It's already turned into night. God, that clock looks awful. Looks so bad. So head on over to Grand Central Station. Show that in the rail yard off. See the rail yard from here. It just has like different rails and stuff that could be changed up at will to lead to different lines and everything. So, Grand Central Station. There's going to be 3 lines. There's going to be the Eastern Line, the Western Line, and the International Line. Moon is rising there. So that's the east. That's the west. Alright. So yeah, Western Line would have gone to the Venetian off that direction. Eastern Line would have gone up to like Semiamu. The Western Line was the more important one, along with the International Line that went along with it. You can see good old furnace minecarts, because that was the only way to actually travel back then. Didn't have power rails. It was either that or minecart boosters. Everyone just used minecart boosters because it's way better. Ticket office here. Over here is just telling you what goes to where. Eastern Line didn't have anything. Western Line, Farmco and Warehouse 7, and Factory Station. Oh, well, yeah, it was supposed to be like station listing. That's what it was. So Factory Station is Farmco and Warehouse 7. So let's go ahead and follow the line. It just kind of does like a little turnaround here. The International Line just comes straight out. And follow this all the way over to Farmco. So just a combination of me not being skilled enough, me not having the time, the map being, from a really old version of Minecraft. This is all like old school Minecraft generation. Which, at least in terms of like terrain, I actually kind of prefer the old school Minecraft generation to a lot of current generation. We had way better mountains in this than we tend to have, and way more frequent mountains than we tend to have nowadays. A little bridge over this little big cave here. I would have taken the minecart, but I would have had to have, rejig the thing and gone and gotten some coal, so walking is just the best way to do this. But with the map being so old, it didn't really work out well, and my building skills outgrew the map. Minecraft versions and map generation outgrew the map. I actually forgot to show off the map. the turned chunk glitches, right? The chunk glitches back in Lynaker there, because you could actually see some from the top of Lighthouse 1, because there were a few in the water out there. Flower Pass, so named because there were a bunch of flowers that were up here, and I just tucked them around. I even added a few. And there's Farmco. And then obviously I didn't have the time for the map either, so just kind of got abandoned over time. Warehouse 13 was the last thing I worked on, and I never even finished that. Spent most of my time on the box instead, working on Sealth. This is just to, get the rail lines over the road here. But this one has like a little lever, so that way you can actually come off of the eastern line to station up here. A little light up there is cave entrance, or technically it was a cave exit. The entrance was down there. And that over there was just a big old massive pile of gravel that was built into the mountain. So it was a big old gravel pit I dug a bunch out of. So let's start off on the left with the greenhouse. The main feature. One of the first things I ever built in this map. Farmco. Just a massive, massive greenhouse with tons and tons of wheat. Not the best build, as you can see. Wheat and seeds could end up in the water, and frequently did. In order to get that, you would have to go all the way. You would have to go to this side of the greenhouse and come up into the water here, and you would go into there, and it would, like, you'd go under the pathway here. So like the water went back here, under these, and it would come up and out through there. I suppose I can actually just mine this block to show you that. See? And a little view of the tree farm from back here, too. Just gonna leave the block mined because it doesn't matter. Not saving. I got the zip file of this, that's the one I'm saving. Yeah, just a big old massive greenhouse. A little jumpy back here because you have to get over the water. Here, wheat, seeds, mushroom smoothies, raw meat, cooked meat, bread, just a little storage area. And this was like a pickup drop-off area because this was actually the grocery warehouse. So people would pick up and drop stuff off there. You have the furnace room, coal room, kitchen. Massive furnace room. Coal room. Filled to the brim with coal. Minus that one. And then another little furnace room. And here, factory output Farmco. Yeah, there's a factory here. So, I mean, here's the, station, factory station. I'm going to do a quick little bit of construction here. Just to get up here. To show off some of just the little extra superfluous stuff I added on top just to make it look cool. But yeah, this right here, this is what I referred to as the factory. It's actually something a little bit different. Something you wouldn't really see these days. Because back then, if I remember correctly, because I even had like a space for spawners in the warehouse over here. Mob spawners. Pig spawner was a thing. If I remember correctly, if you mined spawners back then, they dropped pig spawners. That's how I got this. Because there's actually like a dungeon near here. I'll show it off in a minute. No, exactly what location where that was. Yeah, pig spawner spawns pigs on grass blocks here. Let's see if we can get one to spawn. Come on. There we go. So just single pigs, they would inevitably wander off. So you come down here. Pig would eventually come over to here. And you just sit here. And slowly but surely run out of air. in a moment now, start suffocating. And drop his pork chops. Get another little view over here where you could watch the pork chops slowly come down. Little water line. And bloop, down into there. And then this is where they eventually come out of, if one wants to actually make its way over here eventually at some point one day. There we go. So there they are, and you can just step down there and grab them. So that's how I ended up with all the pork chops in here. Was thanks to that. And that spawner was actually very nearby to here. Right, this little gravel pit here is where I built up out of where the spawner was. So it's like literally like underneath where Fopco is. So yeah, that's something you can really do these days. Here we have Warehouse 7. So yeah, see, I have, it's not that one. It's one of these. A bunch of stuff here, tools, buckets. Fence, very well organized and labeled. Oh, it didn't have anything in it. Oh, look at those ones there. Alright, you can get some ore. Diamond tools, armor, TNT, mob spawners, and stairs. So yeah, and you can see the mossy stone I had from that and saddles. Iron blocks. A lot of these responded. Oh, most of those responded, honestly. Later on. Redstone stuff, and doors, cloth, mod wraps, cobblestone. And then you had a second level that I never actually used. And then down here is where I had my diamonds. This chest almost completely spawned in. This chest, I think it's around like a third of this was real. And the rest was spawned in later. And then head back out. A nice little efficient warehouse. That's what they're there for. Little path back to here. Gorgeous mountains around here. This is the tree farm. It's meant to have a lot of wood. You can see all the saplings that I know there. I don't think there's actually any wood in here anymore. But you can see the trees and some of the saplings that were on there. Big old tree farm. That's where I came if I needed wood. Back before I started spawning the stuff in. And that's pretty much it. Plainus is just kind of off on the other side of that mountain there. That's where that nation was going to be. Cagnary was off in that direction with those big mountains. There's not really much else to show off. That's all I really built. I mean, it's a fair bit, especially for the time. And especially since most of the early stuff was built in survival, so I had to do a lot of work. And there's tons of terraforming that happened in downtown Lynaker back over there. Like a ton of terraforming. Also, I'm just realizing the sand is exclusive to this chunk. I don't remember it being here. Huh. That might be another chunk error, especially since... I don't know if this is a full chunk away or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 now. This one isn't a full chunk away. Although it does look like it's turned. So maybe the sand, actually, thinking about it, the sand might have been here. But this might have gotten turned. Perhaps. I don't know. Not sure if that's chunkier or not. The ones in the ocean and Lynaker are a little more obvious, but I just forgot to show them off. Oh well. But yeah, this was a very, very important map for me. I'd spent a lot of time on it, but a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears into it. But just couldn't work out, which is unfortunate. It's also why I'm making a new one. Yeah, I'm actually making a new version of Kontinent. Because when I was looking for seeds, I was looking through good seeds for 1.15 the most recent version of Minecraft, because I wanted to build a new world. Because I wanted to have a world with a new Nether. I already had a single player world I had been doing for a while. It was like a nice little house and everything. You got like a bunch of editing tools and all that stuff, geared up. But while I really liked that map, there were, problems with it. There were things that weren't there that I would have liked to have. So I decided to, try to make a new one, especially since the Nether in that world was really, really bad in terms of the spawn. It was in this weird, like, cut ravine area. It was just crummy. It was a pain to walk through. So I went through looking, like, using, like, different names that I've used before, as well as, like, different names of places from my stories. Like, the previous world I had was actually, the seed name was Ashire, which is the main region that in the Aberdeen, that a lot of the story takes place in, or most of the story takes place in Ashire and Ashire Academy. But one of the seeds I checked was actually not Continent. I did check Continent. Continent wasn't a great seed for what I was wanting, but Lynaker. And Lynaker gave an awesome map, spawning in a mesa biome. There even happened to be a skeleton spawner, like, fairly close by that I discovered while in the map. And you also spawn, it is a mesa biome, and, like, immediately there were, whatchamacallits? What are they called? With the minecart tracks. What is it called? Mine shafts. There we go. That's what I'm thinking of. Abandoned mine shafts, at the surface level. But it would help me get a lot of gold to prepare for the Nether update, because Mesa spawned tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of gold. Also allows me to actually use golden carrots as a major food source, which is nice. And abandoned mine shafts right at the surface. There's even a cave spider spawner right nearby, so I can use that as an XP farm once I actually build it up. I ended up getting a zombie villager to spawn. Early on, and was able to cure that. It spawned in like the potion stuff, so that since I didn't want to actually go into the Nether until the Nether update, so I could get the new Nether, to spawn in the potion stuff, so I can cure the villager. Turned him into an awesome mending villager, and the scenery was really nice, but there were multiple areas that worked out really well in, like, good locations to rebuild Continent. There was a massive mountain biome, Extreme Hills biome, right next to the mesa. Then you had, like, some, like, forest and stuff off to the west. Then you have a really nice cape that can turn into Cape Point. Massive mountain area I was going to turn into Aunt. The Cape Point, as well as a cool, like, little island there that I can, even include as part of Cape Point or make into a new nation. But that island is, like, right off of the tip of Cape Point. Then another really good Extreme Hills biome I could use for Cagnari, next to a large plain I could use for Planus, and next to a massive, and I mean massive, God, what's the biome called? It's like extreme fir forest or something like that. There's like the Rutherford forest and like or spruce forest, I think is what it's technically called. So you have the spruce forest and the extreme spruce forest with like the massive spruce trees, and the podzol and everything. And it was a huge biome, and it had this massive kind of inner bay that connected to the main waterway outside of that, through like a few river biomes connecting what were technically lakes because there were river biomes connecting them, but effectively like these massive bays that were just completely surrounded by this one biome. And it was really, really good, and it worked perfectly for what I was wanting. So I've already been doing some survival stuff in it. I've planned out the roads, the big like highways to get from the mesa biome to Lynaker because it's quite a ways away, and the trip it's a long trek. So I have to kind of make a pathway there. And that's going to take a lot of work. But it's going to be like similar to how I did this map near the end. Like the survival aspect of the map, I'm going to be playing, survival, doing in survival. And then a lot of the building and construction I'm going to do in creative to save myself time and trouble, because I'm not going to do all of that in freaking survival. When I want to play, just normal survival stuff, do normal survival stuff, and exploration and combat and all that, I'll play the map of survival. And then when I build up, the cities, Lynaker and then other nations, I play creative. So kind of a mixed map, basically. That's how I intend to do it. And that's something I'll be doing in my own time. It's not something I'm going to really do on camera, but it is something I'll show off from time to time in the future once I have things to, properly show off in it. So I hope you look forward to that. It's not, I don't expect anything anytime soon, because you would obviously having to focus on making videos and getting the art working. That takes precedence to playing Minecraft. But it's something I'll do in my own time for fun and update you on as there is stuff to show off. So this map is really important to me, and I'd like to not so much honor it as give it another chance, give it another shot. And I intend for that map to be my main map for a very, very long time. If not forever. So I'll be working on that for quite a while. But that will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my little tour of this important map in my Minecraft history and my life in general. And little talks about all this stuff, and how it affected things. As I said, the CPP update video will be out soon after this, probably in a few days. I'll be taking a few weeks break, and then starting to edit together its Pokemon Sword. So as the sun sets on this map, let the sun set on this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.